So today I'm going to be doing a video on my brows because I have so many people asking me how I do them, and I really don't show you guys how I do them, so that's why I'm making this video. I have all Anastasia products for brows. I have the pomade, the pencil, the brow wiz, the powders. But today I'm going to be using the powders. And it looks like this. I have a newer one right here, so you can see. So I don't want to show you the old one, but I'm using the old one. So that's how it looks. But this is the one I'm going to be using. It's like all beat up. But it works really good and it gives me like that natural brow effect, which I love very much. It depends if I want my brows dark, like really dark. I'll use like the pencil or the pomade. But other than that, I use the powder and the pencil. That's it. But I'm gonna get right into it, so yeah, continue watching. Okay, so for starters, I use a spoolie. I comb up my hairs in the direction that I want. And then I'm just gonna grab an angled brush. This one is from Beige Cosmetics, and I don't know the number. Oh wait, it's number 21. Looks like this. And I'm gonna be using the color Ebony. But I'm not going to be using the darker side, I'm going to be using the lighter side. When it comes to my brows, I could use all these colors and it'll still work, depending if I dye my hair and then lighten my brows. But sometimes I don't need to lighten my brows. But on a daily basis, I use chocolate and ebony. I can use these three. And then when it comes to a pomade, I can use ebony and chocolate. I have both, but the chocolate's somewhere else. And then this is dark brown. So it really depends on what I want to use. But for today, I'm going to be using ebony, and it's the lighter side. So I just grab a little bit on my brush, and I just outline it. And I do small strokes and not just one straight one, because then like the product is not evenly coated, and I don't like going in so many times with my brows. I tend to get rid of my arch because I have a really high arch on my brows, and I try to make it circular, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Towards my tail, that's when I start dragging it down more, like long strokes instead of small. And as you can see, it is lighter, and that's when I go in with the darker shade of ebony. And I start from right here, and I go right here. Now sometimes if my tail is a little too long, and that's when I just grab my finger and I go like this. Because I don't like my tail too long. I love powders though. It works good for me. And then I'm going back in with that lighter shade. And I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna flick it so that's straight. Because I have like a gap there in a way, but kind of bothers me. Then I take the brush and I flip it this, like, because it's like this. So I flip it like that. So the point is facing down. And I flick this up to sort of simulate hairs. That's what I do. And I just brush it. As you can see, there is a difference in my natural brow compared to the brow that I filled in. I mean, I really don't need to fill in my brows much, but I like to because for one, I like them thick and I like them straight, like, you know, basically like cleaned up in a way. But yeah, I just like my brows to look really nice. I mean, I like my natural brows, don't get me wrong, because I naturally have thick brows, if you can't already tell. But usually people say you're supposed to go at least 1 to 2 shades lighter, but I like my brows kind of dark. Not too dark, but dark enough that it kind of matches like my roots of my hair, rather than my actual hair color, which is the light brown. But I'm going to continue on this side. This side I always have a little more difficulty filling it in. I'm sure that's like with everyone, like especially with my liner. It happens the same way. Yeah, I just do the little strokes. I usually look in the mirror for this, but I kind of already know where to go without looking in the mirror. So, because I'm just looking at my phone right now. But when I looked in the mirror, it was perfectly fine. And like my tail gives me trouble. This part right here, I don't need to fill in much, so I just flick it up so it still has like that darkness there. So I do that a lot. Okay, this part I'm gonna look in the mirror because this is where I have my difficulty. It's because of my arch. It's so high. I feel like it's so high. And it has like the point, like, but I try so hard to take it out, but it just always grows back. I feel like I should just make this into like my everyday makeup instead of just my brows. Because usually when I start makeup, I start off with my brows first. And then I do my eyeshadow, if I'm planning on wearing eyeshadow that day. See, this gives me difficulty. And then my foundation and all that. They're done. I like to go in with a like vanilla shadow. It's not white, it's like an off-white, but I call it vanilla. And I just put this all over my eye because I do have an oily face. I mean, it sucks. And I like a dewy face too. I don't like a dry face, like a matte. But I like to do this to my eyes just in case I'm gonna wear eyeshadow or eyeliner, so it doesn't give me such a hard time. And then my eyes look brighter that way too, because I don't need to conceal my eyes. I don't use concealer. I used to, but I just use powder instead, because my eyes aren't that bad. I get enough sleep. But what was I saying? Now every time I do makeup, I wash my face, I exfoliate it and everything. You know, because you don't want to work on a dirty canvas. And the face wash I use on a daily basis. It depends on how I'm feeling. I'll either use Way East. It looks like this. Oh, my hand's shaky. Or I'll use Purity. Depending. Okay, so my everyday makeup is simple. Honestly, it just consists of that vanilla shade on top of my eyes. And then I usually go in with foundation. I'm using the MAC Studio Fix. And this is in the shade NC40. And you guys probably think I'm like the whitest person ever, but really I'm tan. But, because my pictures, I don't know, for some reason I show up whiter than in person, which is weird. I don't understand it, and I don't think I ever will, but it happens. I don't know if I said it, but this is an Estee Lauder brush. I don't know the name. Usually I prime my face, but today I'm just going in dry, like no primer. Because the primer I usually use is the Nivea Post Shave Balm or the Milani matte finish, something like that. It's black. Or just use my MAC setting spray to start me off. Depends. Not setting spray. The Fix Plus. Oh my god, I can't talk today. On a daily basis, I don't usually contour or bronze. Because I feel like that's too time consuming for like my daily makeup. It seems like I'm putting a lot, but I really put a little. Because I already hit pan, so there's not much I can grab. I mean, you can see it coming out. But really, it's like a light to medium coverage, which I like because I don't need full coverage. I feel like I look like cake face. I stopped using liquid foundation long ago, and I stuck with powder, and I don't regret it. I probably would go back to liquid if it didn't look so cakey on me, but I'd probably need light to medium coverage. So I used to use eyeliner a lot back when I was in like 9th grade, but I stopped that because I noticed, because I'm so oily, it like everything usually transfers on my eyes. I don't like that, so I like to use a lot of waterproof makeup, but I stopped the eyeliner. But right now I'm just gonna put chapstick on my lips so they aren't so dry. Well, they're not dry, but I just exfoliated them, so they are kind of dry, and I just let it sit there and then take it off. So it's easy to apply my lip liner. As for my mascara, it is butterproof. And this is the CoverGirl Lash Blast Flame. I love this one, the Lancome one, but the Lancome is like $36 and this is $9. So I was like, okay, let me just get this one. I naturally do have long lashes, but I have this tendency to cut my lashes. I know it's kind of weird, and sometimes I pull them, not even gonna lie, but it doesn't hurt. And I don't like wearing falsies. They feel weird. I only wear them for certain looks. A lot of people ask me why I don't wear them, so that's the reason. Well, that's your answer. Whatever. I can't talk today. Just harassing him. I'm not strong. I like to get up in the room. This is waterproof. I hadn't already said so. Well, look at me. Like, my sister has longer lashes than I do. And I don't know how. Oh my god, my look like mine could get like hers. I just cut them because I feel like they're just too long, and sometimes I feel like they touch my freaking eyebrows. So I'm like, no, thank you. Like, I don't know. I'm always getting a mess under there. It doesn't really bother me though, because it's kind of like eyeshadow underneath my eyes. Oh, when it comes to this part, I'm pretty sloppy, but it doesn't really bother me. Okay, so now I'm just gonna remove the lip balm, chapstick, whatever you want to call it, and I dropped something, as always. Okay, so the lip color the lip color I usually use is by Milani, and it's in the shade 3 Nude. I was trying to say like nude and lip at the same time and ended up saying nip. Great. That's bad. As you can see, I've gone through it. So I'm just gonna outline my lip.
For like more than an hour. Here, Mama.
And I have small lips, so I overline it a tad. Not dramatically, but enough that you can see a difference. Here, my lips, they are naturally very pointy, so I try to round them off a bit. And I just fill it in. I have such tiny lips. It sucks. Then I go in with a bit of the NYX Butter lipstick, and this is Hubba Bubba Wow, I think. I don't even know. It's in the shade BLS07. I just go with a little bit. And I mix that. And then I go in with the NYX Butter Gloss. And this is Creme Brulee and BLG05. And it's like this. I really like these glosses. I wish I had more. I think I have also Tiramisu. So it's way lighter than the lip liner.
Well, like it's about to happen again. Like how many people?
But I like the mix.
Everybody start jumping.
And sometimes if I would want like a little sparkle on my lips, I'll go in with like just a tad. I'll go in with this this Lancome gloss, and it's called Rose Jolly. It's the color Fever gloss. It has like a reflex of blues and purples in it. And I put that in the center. I love this lip gloss. It's like the best lip gloss ever, but really expensive. It's like $32. So that's that. When it comes to my highlight on a daily, I mix it. I mix it with this one. This is Pearl, and this is by Becca Cosmetics. And then I mix this one, which is Champagne Pop, and it's also by Becca. So I mix these two together. And it just gives me a beautiful highlight. I'd rather look like glowy than have like so much like contour on my face. Shit. I usually do contour on my nose if I'm going somewhere like on a date or something, but other than that, I don't contour my nose. Cheeks sometimes, I mostly just bronze. I put a lot of highlight, and then I flip the brush on the opposite side and I blend it out more, so it's not so harsh, like a zebra stripe. That makes sense. And then afterwards, usually when I'm about to set it, I set it with the MAC Fix Plus. Right now I'm not gonna set it because I'm just gonna let my face look a little matte, but on the dewy side, because I could get real dewy real quick. then on my cupid's bow, but just a tad. And then should I just grab my finger